Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to Connect In. Connect In is a weekly broadcast about the many important reasons of taking the time to come back into your body, to come out of your head and back into your body. I'm Damini Celebrate, author of Painting the Landscape of Your Soul and a soul advocate. It is my mission to help you live as your brightest best self. And um, I don't mean walking around like this all the time, but being truly authentic, um, no matter how you're feeling. So if you're not feeling quite lovely and perky today, that's okay. You're being true to yourself. And so when we get out of our head, it's our head that keeps yammering on about all the things we should or shouldn't be doing, or should or shouldn't be acting like. It gets hard to keep hold or keep centered of yourself. And so these weekly episodes are just some insights about how our mind can trick us, how our inner demons can distract us, how we can go down the rabbit hole of unworthiness or sadness or bravado and being part of your job, or identifying to groups that don't really resonate with you. So before we start any further, what I'd like to do is just take the opportunity to have us all together as a community come down and back into our body. Because we can hear things with the mind, but and we all do this, right? You're listening, it's like, oh yeah, but oh yeah, but like that mind kicks in and tries to analyze, understand, or want to add a comment into the group that is clever and all those things, and that's great. But are you in the present moment of really receiving the information? And so there's two different ways to listen. There's one way to listen with your head, and there's another way to listen with your heart. And I really think living a whole self is like having your head and your heart aligned as well. So that's what this very short, brief meditation is going to do. So if you're driving, keep your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road. But those of you who are in a good place, just take a moment and just feel the weight of you on your chair, your feet on the ground. Take a nice, long, deep breath. Your breath doesn't have to do anything fancy. Now feel the full weight of your body on your chair, on your couch. If you're walking while you're listening to this, feel the weight of you on the earth. Feel the weight of your bones, your flesh. Great. Now, if you like, bring your awareness to your breath. Bring your breath all the way down into your belly. Bring that breath down into your hips. Down your legs. And down to your feet. Wiggle your toes. Breath to belly to feet. And take a moment of continuing to feel the weight of your body as it's filled up with breath. Notice all the feelings and sensations that are there. Yeah. Breath, belly, feet. Keep feeling the weight of your body, where you're sitting. And take a moment and just notice all the feelings and sensations that are happening in your body right now. I believe that our body holds the roadmap for our transformation. And simply what we need to do is first come back into our body. Breath to belly to feet. And just notice how you feel in your body. Just notice how you feel now versus a little while ago. The beauty of coming down and into our body is that we can access, first, it allows us to feel calm and centered and have a focus that is expansive versus myopic. I have to get and think about work as a very, or project, right? It's a very myopic kind of feeling. But when you come into kind of soft focus, you're actually more expansive. Because when we're down in our heart, we're actually in a more expansive place. But because we're grounded in our body, we're not out here in the realms of the unicorns and fairy tales and daydreaming, the things that keep us ungrounded, right? We're in the realm of being in our body, aligned with our head and our heart, and in an expansive heart place. And why this is so important, this is the place where it's super helpful to begin to listen to your inner guidance. Like, you can listen to your inner guidance when you're in your head, but the truth is our head is always running the shots about what's safe, what makes sense. And sometimes when we are on a transformational journey, right, we are on a precipice of change. It can be scary as all beans, but it can be really rewarding as well. So when we come back down to breath, belly, feet, that's step number one of learning to access your inner guidance, your heart's yes. And then you could start listening to where your soul really wants you to go, how your soul wants you to live as your fullest self. Right? And then we can do that in a couple different ways. The way I offer that experience is to continue listening to your soul self through the embodied creative practice, because that way you are so not in your head and you can get to untangle things that are in your way. You can get to your soul's guidance through the embodied creative practice because you're not in your head. But it all starts with breath, belly, feet. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about healing and the personal journey of self-discovery, because sometimes they align and sometimes people think of them as two different ways. As a healer for almost over 30 years at this point, I have watched a lot of different people come in, and some people come into a practice, or people that now come into one-on-one sessions with me by distance sessions, um, sometimes people want to be fixed. And in our Western understanding of what healing is, generally we wait for ourselves to get broken, or something to break, and then we search somebody out for fixing. And the truth is when I had a full-time acupuncture practice, most of the time people came in because something was broken. And I think finally it's the body going, okay, wait a minute. If I have to get you in to a person that can help you move forward in your life, okay, we're going to make your back hurt, or you can get some sadness, or any of those things. But it's the broken that gets us in. In the classics, I've read in Asian medicine that the acupuncturist would get paid as long as the person was healthy. And when the person wasn't healthy, they didn't get paid, but they still had to treat the person. So there's a crazy paradigm shift. And here's the reality, like if something is broke, if something hurts, whether that's at a body level, a mind level, a spirit level, you know, that is an opportunity for us to reach out and get support. And when you hurt, you want to be fixed, and that's perfectly okay. But that's only the beginning of your personal journey of transformation, right? We're all kind of trained that we want to get fixed and get on with life, get fixed and get on with life. But healing is really not only about balancing what's in the way or balancing what's hurting, but healing is also then putting you or allowing you to be on the path of your own journey of self-discovery. And so what is a journey of self-discovery? Journey of self-discovery is ultimately living what I call your brightest best self, living as your truest and most authentic self without too many societal guidelines. Like we all fall into patterns of how we should be with our friends, or how we should be with our partners, or how we should be at work. But the more that we are on a journey of personal transformation, the more that we're showing up as ourselves. It's funny, I was just listening to NPR a couple weeks ago, and they were talking about people having work personas, and how people that have been working at home have been much more, this is all me paraphrasing it, but they have been much more comfortable in their own skin because they don't have to kind of put on these defenses to show up at the office and be a certain way. And so really, in a journey of self-discovery, you keep showing up in all these different venues, places, people, more and more as your authentic self. Like you don't have to be the heroine, or you don't have to be the super smarty, or you don't have to be the advocate, or you don't have to be the mama. You can just be you. Right? And as we are on our journey of self-discovery, we don't instantly go, I'm going to be my most authentic self all the time. What mostly happens is that we keep bumping. I don't know if we bump, but the more that we grow, the more that we expand into who we are, there are opportunities where our inner critic will come in and say, are you sure you want to do that? And our inner critic shows up when we are on a precipice of change. And our inner critic also shows up to show us a pattern that needs to be untangled. So I really think that this journey of self-discovery is a journey of recognizing when you are blocked, recognizing when you are in a pattern of bravado or inauthenticity, if you will, but also giving yourself the opportunity to say, oh, okay, hey, I'm doing this. And what can I do different to come back to being my authentic self, whatever that is in that moment, right? And this is a journey. So the journey of self-discovery is learning of understanding that there's a time where you want to live and be and show up in the world as close to you as possible without all these other filters that we put on ourselves. And during that journey of self-discovery, you begin to learn, understand these patterns that hold you back. And the more that we go towards living as our fullest expression, the more that our inner critic kicks in with some doozies of patterns, self-worth and insecurities and fear and way too happy all the time. Like there's a whole range of things. And I know I've just plucked out about 3 out of 100, right? But when we are in this journey, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's challenging, but you're always moving forward to being your fullest expression. And so can you see how that's different than healing? Healing is like you come in, you want to get fixed, right? And that kind of is a relatively stationary experience, right? When you begin to take healing into the journey, your journey of self-discovery, you're actually taking control of your life. You're taking responsibility for your growth. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't go to different healers or have retreats or have different experiences, because they all help get you going. It's hard to do this work on your own. It takes a lot of dedication, and to be honest with you, most of us can't do it on our own. In fact, that's why I offer a creative alchemy community where we use primarily it's a community that is all their heart's desire is to live as their most authentic self. And we use the embodied creative practices and all these other meditation and self-reflective practices that I offer in this community to help us all just hold a tether to our personal transformation and growth. And you can check that out at the link below, or just pop over to DaminiCelebrate.com and look up Creative Alchemy. But healing can be a one and done experience. Healing can also lead you to really discovering, to stepping into your most beautiful and authentic self, right? And that journey of self-discovery can happen in a lot of ways, and you'll ebb and flow in that process, or at least I can say I ebb and flow. Like I always think I'm trying to live as my fullest self. And sometimes I have a pity party and sit on the couch and binge TV and eat corn chips. Like it's life, right? And so I invite you to really contemplate, are you really comfortable in your skin? Is there something yearning to come forward to allow you to live as even a fuller expression of yourself? And if so, then you are beginning your healing journey. Right? The difference between healing and your personal healing journey of self-discovery is a transition. And when you're on your journey of self-discovery, it can be challenging, it can be rewarding, but ultimately you get to take control of yourself, to let your inner guidance guide you instead of all the kind of static in the world around you. So I hope that helps you understand a little bit difference between healing and the journey of self-discovery. And if you would like to join the Creative Alchemy community, we're a community of women that are really helping to support each other energetically in community to thrive. And it's a beautiful thing. If you'd like to do this as one-on-one sessions, you can also just reach out to me. So until next week, just notice. Are you looking for help, or do you want a little support? Until next week, I send you much love. Mwah.